She'll have her hand competing for gold medals in individual events at the World Championships in Fort Worth, Texas. Some of the most popular athletes here have been the young women from the People's Republic of China, like Yahon's Ma. In the all-around, which took place earlier, some experts thought the Chinese should have been marked higher than they were. Now they have another chance, as medals are at stake on each of the 4 pieces of equipment. Amelia Everly, a wan-looking Romanian teenager, will have to carry on for the famous Nadia Comaneci. Nadia had to retire from the competition earlier on because of injury. Miss Everly's looks are deceiving, though. She's experienced, talented, and tough. And then there's Melita Roon. She also is Romanian, lacking the experience of Everly, but another in the line of gymnasts that her little country seems to produce without pause. There'll be American finalists, too, as we watch the women's individual event finals at the World Gymnastics Championships. Now, for more of today's program, here's Howard Cosell. Outside Tarrant County Convention Center in Fort Worth, Texas. This has been a big week in these parks, as they say down here, as Fort Worth plays host to the 20th World Gymnastics Championships. Hello, I'm Jim McKay, and it's a big week here, not only because it's the first time that the championships have come to Fort Worth, it is, in fact, the first time they've been held in the United States or anywhere outside Europe. It's a big event. You know, there are a lot of gymnastics competitions on television these days, but this is the one and only World Championship. Now, a little bit earlier on Wide World, we brought you some of the team competition and the individual all-around for men and women. Today, you're going to see championships on the individual pieces of apparatus. Now, easily the outstanding performance from an American point of view in the all-around was Kurt Thomas in the men's division, winning a silver medal. Another first for the United States for this young man who has such a remarkable career behind him and still ahead of him. Kurt Thomas of the United States. But that was the all-around. Let's bring in Kathy Rigby-Mason to talk about the women's division. And it looks like we're going to have quite a variety of countries among the medal winners, doesn't it?
Well, you know, it's been becoming increasingly difficult for any one country or one individual to win all 4 pieces of apparatus or be world champion on all 4 pieces of apparatus. For example, Nellie Kim, although she was individual all-around champion, I'd be very surprised if she won more than 2 events today.
Well, there is Nellie warming up, Kathy, on the uneven parallel bars. A remarkable young athlete, but she had labored in the shadow of her more famous teammates, Olga Korbut and Ludmila Teresheva, and most recently in the shadow of Romania's Nadia Comaneci. Now, Nadia actually came to these championships, and she was finely trained, almost looked drawn when she arrived, but in top shape, they told us. She started to compete, but then came down with an infection in her hand. She was taken to the hospital, but after a day or so, came out of the hospital, and the Romanian said she would give it a try in the team competition. Well, she did on the balance beam alone. She tried to help her team and did get a good mark. However, she couldn't use the hand. All of the other events demanded the use of the hands, so Nadia Comaneci withdrew from the World Championships and went on home. The championships go on, however, and remember, these are individual event finals. Now, these women qualified to go into these finals here by their performance in the team competition, and the mark that they got there will be carried over into this and added to whatever mark they get here today. Now, there's Yahon Ma from the People's Republic of China, but in a minute we're going to be seeing the defending gold medalist in the uneven parallel bars, Marcia Frederick. She's from the United States. This is going to be a day of firsts here at these World Gymnastics Championships, and here's one right now, something that's never happened before in the sport. An American woman defending her world championship. Marcia Frederick, yes, is the current world champion on the uneven parallel bars. At the moment, she's in 7th place here, in trouble, but still only .125 out of the lead. So a super performance could still do something for her.
She's certainly capable of that, but I've seen the biggest improvement on the uneven bars as a whole by all the gymnasts in the past year, and it's going to be tough. If anybody can do it, Marcia's the one. Full twisting Stalter, beautiful. 1.5 twist. She's working very easily, very smooth. She keep up the good work here. Right to a handstand. There's a toe on, half twist, front with a nice exercise. Should receive a high mark.
Fine exercise by Marcia Frederick, the pride of New England in the gymnastics world.
She's had an injury to her ankle, but that shouldn't affect her on the uneven bar. She's been able to work this more than any other event. Just take a look at that dismount. Here's her handstand. She goes to what is called a toe-on, right up to another handstand.
9-8. You think it was better than that?
Well, this dismount is not a regular dismount. It doesn't show quite the difficulty that as a matter of fact, she had in Strasbourg. So I think the score was pretty fair.
I have a feeling that there will be no medal this year for the defending gold medalist, Marcia Frederick. There could be a medal, and a big one for this young lady, however, Yahon Ma from the People's Republic of China, because she's tied for the lead coming to the final here. Now, I mentioned earlier, I think, that the People's Republic of China athletes have been among the most popular here. Some people thought that the marks they got in the individual all-around could have been higher, and in the team competition, too.
She could do it here. She has a 9.925 average, I believe. And
that's right.
You'll see why in a minute. Starts out with a half twist kick to the high bar. Impeccable form. You'll never see her legs break. Look at that toe point. Watch this. Free hip right to the handstand. Full twist.
Wow.
You can see why she's receiving such high marks. I think she has the best toe point in the competition. There's another free hip, our clear hip as we call it, to a stalter. Tremendous flexibility. Okay, watch this dismount. Heck! Heck with a
goodness.
very nice. She could receive a 9.9, 9.95.
Yahon Ma of the People's Republic of China. Remember, Kathy, I was over there a couple of years ago. When I came back, I think I told you, I was so impressed with the way their whole program had changed. Remember, some years ago, they used to have big and heavier girls.
It certainly has changed. Look at the obvious control she shows on this exercise, especially on this dismount. Let's watch.
And there's the mark, 990. She's the leader now. Remember, she was tied for the lead coming into this phase with Maxi Ganauk of East Germany. And here is Maxi, needing a 9.9 to tie for the gold medal, 9.95, apparently to win it. There are others yet to come, remember, but in relation to the other girl with whom she was tied for the lead.
It seems thin as in with these gymnasts, but when you're carrying any extra weight around, it's almost impossible to do some of these handstand moves. There's a vault over the high bar. You need a tremendous amount of strength in the entire body just to pull that off. There goes another free hip. Jim, she's having no problems. Front with a half twist.
Okay.
She just might beat Ma.
Pretty tough to score those two against each other.
One slight advantage she has over Ma is that she works with a little straighter body, not quite so much arch, and that's something that is important when working the unevens. Here's that front with a half twist, good height, and absolutely no steps on the landing.
990, so we have a tie for the lead now between Maxi Ganauk and Yahon Ma, China. And now Amelia Everly of Romania. She'd need a perfect mark of 10 to move into the lead. And a 9.95 would not tie her for the lead either, so perfection is what she's after. And I guess she's always after that.
That's exactly right. I don't think Bella lets them get away with anything less. Stalter. They go through at least 10 bar routines every time they go in the gym. There's a vault over the high bar. Good power in that entire body to get over that high bar like that. Handstand. There's what we call a Christ carry, named after the man who invented it. Judges are looking for those gymnasts to go right to the handstand on those free hips and those stalters.
Okay. Looking for a medal there is Amelia Everly.
And the Christ carry, it's not so much that it's difficult, it's more spectacular for an audience to see. Very pleasing to the eye. She just wraps that low bar, drops one arm, and makes a half twist. Sounds easy. Looks not too complicated when you can see it in slow motion.
9.9, real good solid mark.
And here you can see her pike on, and she does a dismount her teammate Nadia Comaneci made famous. Comaneci dismount.
And there is little Amelia awaiting as we are the official results in this event. We'll be right back.
As greatest first from China, Ma Yang-heng.
The results are in on the uneven parallel bars, and we have a tie for the gold medal between Yang-Ho and Ma here from the People's Republic of China. That country making an impressive return. They haven't been in the World Championship since the early 60s. And here a tie for the gold medal, tied with the young woman from East Germany, Maxi Ganauk.
In addition, from the German Democratic Republic, Maxi
Girls from
Ganauk.
opposite sides of the world tying for the gold medal. Incidentally, the days when one country dominated women's gymnastics seem to be gone now, and for a long time to come. First it was the Russians who dominated, then the Romanians, but now here you see People's Republic of China, East Germany, and finally a Romanian in third place. You'll be seeing in a moment here Amelia Everly winning the bronze medal on the uneven parallel bars. As for the defending world champion, who was from the United States of America, remember, Marcia Frederick, she finished 6th this time. So that's the story on the uneven parallel bars. There is, of course, much more to come here. And we'll be back for that. But now to Howard Cosell for the continuation of our coverage of the legendary pool players show.
Last week, we began...
We're again at the Tarrant County Convention Center in Fort Worth at the individual events finals of the women's competition in the World Gymnastics Championships. This is Jim McKay with Kathy Rigby Mason, and here is Nellie Kim, the women's all-around champion. But these are for gold medals on the individual events, remember, and this is the balance beam, always beautiful and dangerous.
Press handstand mount. Nellie is usually very tight on the balance beam, very secure.
She also in a tie for second place with Filatova and Gropoli.
One thing you try to do when you're up here is think of it, each move as it comes, concentrate on not worrying about difficult moves coming up, because sometimes you make all the hard tricks, our skills, and you miss the easy things. Solid as a rock there. 2 back saltos or back flips, whatever you want to call them, in a row. Nellie covered up a little error just a second ago, but the judges won't take off anything because she was able to ad-lib. Here's her Valdez. Not a difficult move, but goes with the continuity of the routine. Right into a gainer back handspring and another gainer back handspring. You see there, she was off a little bit to the left, and she just made the pose a little different. One thing you get from years and years of competition. Gainer back flip off the beam. Another solid exercise.
Nellie Kim trying for yet another medal to add to her large collection.
You know, Nellie makes these 2 back saltos or back flips look so easy, and that's because she's very strong in her legs, and after doing 50 back flips a day, maybe 3 to 6 months.
Look how perfectly positioned she is once again over that 4-inch beam.
Let's take another look at that gainer dismount. The one thing you want to do on this dismount is to get far enough away from that balance beam so your toes don't hit. There she is. Little pose. You can see they do a little bit of her dance routine first. You've got to reach way out in front of you. Clear those feet. Pretty landing.
And there's Nellie awaiting the judge's decision, and there it is. 9.85. That's a good, solid competitive mark. Remember, she's in a tough battle here. She was in a triple tie for second coming in. So,